Canelo Alvarez confirms that he will not retire after losing to Terence Crawford, and he has 2 fights left on his deal with Turki Al-Sheikh, which he will fulfill. So Turki Al-Sheikh posted on Twitter. He said, "I just visited the champ in his place. He will soon start his vacation with his family. He has 2 fights left with that rider season in 2026. We offer him to work with us until he quits and retires. I want to go and give a special thank you to Canelo for the special gift. He gave me the gloves of the fight, and I appreciate it very much." So then Turki Al-Sheikh posted a picture with the boxing gloves that Canelo Alvarez gave to him. These were the gloves that he wore while he was fighting Terence Crawford. So Canelo Alvarez is not retiring. He even confirmed this in the press conference. If you watch the press conference after the fight, Canelo Alvarez said that he wants to continue boxing. He still feels like he's fighting at an elite level. He doesn't feel like he's washed up or slowing down. A lot of fans have been saying that, man. A lot of fans have been saying that Canelo Alvarez is slowing down. And I'd agree, right? Canelo Alvarez, he definitely is in the back half of his career. I don't think Canelo Alvarez is in his prime anymore, but he's still an elite fighter, right? Guys, we have to understand, right? He lost to Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford is one of the best boxers of all time, right? Terence Crawford is the #1 pound-for-pound boxer in the world. So it's not a bad thing to lose to the top guy, right? Like, you know what's disgusting is when Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence, everybody just forgot about everything that Errol Spence did in the sport of boxing. They just forgot everything. They forgot that he beat Mikey Garcia. I remember everybody thought Mikey Garcia was going to beat Errol Spence because Mikey Garcia was saying that he saw something, and people thought that Mikey Garcia had a higher boxing IQ than Errol Spence. So he purposefully boxed all 12 rounds with Mikey Garcia to show people that he doesn't have to knock him out. He can outbox him. Because remember, Mikey Garcia moved up to 147. I think that was his first fight at 147. And Errol Spence pretty much won every round against Mikey Garcia, right? Then Errol Spence beat Kell Brook, right? Went over there to the UK, took Kell Brook's title. That was a close fight before Errol Spence ended up stopping him, right? I think he messed up one of his eyes that he damaged when he decided to fight Canelo Alvarez, right? Was it Canelo or Triple G? I think it was Canelo. No, it was Triple G, right? So then he goes on to have a close fight with Shawn Porter. I actually think Shawn Porter won that fight, and I'm saying this as a fan of Errol Spence. I think Shawn Porter beat him, but the fact that Errol Spence dropped Shawn Porter, I think it was in round 9 or 10, that pretty much solidified the win for Errol Spence Jr., right? Then he goes on. He was going to fight Manny Pacquiao, but Errol Spence had an eye injury, so Ugas ends up fighting Manny Pacquiao. Ugas beats Manny Pacquiao, and then Errol Spence beats Ugas, beats the shit out of Ugas. Like, nobody talks about this. Like, Errol Spence completely destroyed Ugas in that fight, man. Had both of his eyes closed up, you know, had Ugas looking unrecognizable in that fight, man. Just beat the shit out of Ugas. There was one point in the fight where Ugas got a really nice punch on Errol Spence, and that's because Errol Spence, he thought that his teeth, because remember, this is the fight, was it the fight after the accident or something? Yeah, I think this was the fight. Yeah, this was the fight after the accident. So Errol Spence had dentures in his mouth, and he didn't want to embarrass himself, and he thought that Ugas knocked his fake teeth out of his mouth. So while he was looking on the ground to see if his teeth was on the ground, Ugas caught him with a nice shot, and Errol Spence, he didn't even drop, right? It was a good shot, but he did not get dropped, right? So he also beat Danny Garcia fresh off of the accident. Like, guys, you guys don't even, this is why boxing fans don't give you the fights that you want to see. Because when a fighter loses, you guys are quick to throw them away. You guys are quick to shit on a fighter. No matter how many good things they do, once a fighter loses, you guys like to write them off. Errol Spence, who crashed in that Ferrari because he was drunk driving. Some people think he was being chased by Mo 3. You know what I'm saying? Guys, you know what's crazy? If you go on Wikipedia, if you go on Errol Spence Jr.'s Wikipedia, it says that Errol Spence was speeding because Mo 3 was chasing him. That's crazy, right? That just goes to show that Wikipedia is not an official source, because Errol Spence never said that was true. This is all rumors, right? Rainwater said it wasn't true, but a lot of people were saying that Mo 3 was chasing Errol Spence down, and that's why he was speeding in that Ferrari, right? So fresh off of the accident where Errol Spence flew out of the Ferrari and smashed onto the concrete where he could have possibly died, he came right back and beat Danny Garcia. Beat the shit out of Danny Garcia, you know what I'm saying, who only had 2 losses, one to Keith Thurman and one to Sean Porter. And I think both of those losses, the Danny Garcia fight against Sean Porter and Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, those were very close fights. Danny Garcia could have won either one of those fights. So that's another impressive win for Errol Spence Jr. He beat Danny Garcia fresh off of almost dying after flying out of a Ferrari when Keith Thurman and Sean Porter struggled with Danny Garcia. Give the man props when it's due, you know what I'm saying? So Errol Spence lost to Terence Crawford, and now everybody thinks he's done. Everybody thinks he should retire. I disagree, man. Listen, Canelo Alvarez, you know, you're still a great fighter. And I still think that Canelo Alvarez beats a majority of the fighters at 168. The only fighter that I think at 168 that would give Canelo problems is Hamza Shiraz. I think Hamza Shiraz is a tough fight for Canelo. I think Lester Martinez is a tough fight for Canelo. And I think that, what's the other guy's name? Christian and Billy, who is just a beast, walks fighters down the entire fight. I think that's another tough fight for Canelo. But the only person that I might pick to beat Canelo at 168 is Hamza Shiraz because of how fucking tall he is. Other than that, man, Canelo is good, man. He just lost to one of the best fighters of all time. So salute to Canelo Alvarez for not retiring. Let me know what you guys think about this. It's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. Who do you guys want to see fight Canelo next, man? He has 2 fights left on this deal. If I was to make a prediction, right, I think that Canelo's next opponent is going to be Chris Eubank Jr. The only way I think that doesn't happen is if Chris Eubank Jr. loses to Conor Benn, right? And then I think his last fight is probably going to be either against Hamza Shiraz. I don't know if Canelo takes a fight with Hamza Shiraz because that's a dangerous fight. But I would say it's either going to be against Hamza Shiraz or Christian and Billy if Christian and Billy decides not to rematch Lester Martinez. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. It's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, thumbs up the video, leave a comment. I'm out.